Hello, this is Connor Hellman, and I'll be talking about ethics in a workplace. And oftentimes, when we think about ethics in a workplace, we only think of the bad side to it, and we only think of the things that have to do with problems with ethics or people who are having problems overall with the company, whether it be leadership or whether it be something people decide on, whether it be ethical decisions that leadership makes, or maybe it's just the overall culture of a company that is toxic, or it is something that you just don't want to be around every day. These are all examples of ethical situations that could happen. Some of the best companies that work ethical, and work in a fashion that you want to go to work every day and they do everything right are oftentimes some of the most successful ones. Things like Costco and Chick-fil-A, Volkswagen, McDonald's, those are all usually pretty ethical companies. Chick-fil-A, for example, they pay for their employees' education if needed to get a master's or doctorate degree, and Costco just pays people's wages and fare throughout all the company, whether it be a job that you've been working at for a long time, or maybe it's a job that someone else has in a whole different state. The wages are set at the same price so that no problems happen with that. One of the ethical situations I'd like to talk about is data privacy. And a lot of times companies having problems with people who work higher up and they have access to all the data and all the financials of the whole company. That can be usually reliable only for the owner and president, maybe CEO and CFO. But oftentimes when we have people who work under the belt and just work for the company overall, they want to use this information, and they can use the data to kind of hinder it and realize that if they want to take money from it, then they can also change the numbers in the same sense. So it's important that data privacy is very important, because it could screw up your whole credentials of your whole company if you realize that at the start you had X amount of money and then you have Y, and you not sure how it happened because so many people have access to this high class data. Then it could really ruin a company and make it corrupt all in one. Oftentimes it is very important that ethical situations ensure positive feedback and positive environment to be around, so that it's more of people saying yes and less of people saying no. And it's very important that when you go into work, your ideas don't get shut down, and that your ideas feel like you're inclusive in one. And this relates to data privacy as well, because if you have an idea thrown out there and you want to see it happen and work in your company, then oftentimes you have to build your way up. You can't go straight to the CEO or straight to the president, because you shouldn't have that access. It's important that someone works from the bottom and works their way up, so that the data privacy stays in the hands of someone who owns the company or someone who works hard, and the CFO and operating officers like that. Thank you for listening to my video on ethics.